You are listening to FedBiz'5. I'm Miles Minich, and I do marketing for small businesses.
My name is Anthony Duttori, and I am a federal contracting consultant.
And in today's discussion, we will be talking about PSC codes. Hello and welcome back to our podcast here at FedBiz'5, where you get informed, get connected, and get results. We're going to jump straight in. So last week we focused on NAICS Codes and we dived deep into that. And so this week we're going to focus on PSC Codes. And so Anthony, let's dive deep into PSC Codes.
Good. So PSC Codes is another way of identifying your industry to the federal government. A PSC code, by the way, PSC stands for Product and/or Service Code, and it is a 4-character code. It could be numeric or alphanumeric, depending. If it's numeric, it is a product. If it's alphanumeric, it is a service. So it is another way of identifying your industry, and it's important because it is used on every federal contract. A contract, or if I say federal work can be done. When I say work, I mean goods and services can be done without a NAICS code, but it has to have a PSC code or at least part of it. Now, PSC codes, in contrast to NAICS, are not as specific. I mean, they're not as broad. They are more specific, more granular. For instance, you have a NAICS code that speaks to roofing. The PSC code would talk about the types of buildings, church, schools, that sort of thing that you would put those roofs on. So in many instances, PSC codes are more granular and more specific. The place to find PSC codes is at a website called acquisition.gov. And by the way, I'm always going to give you the government website for these things because I think that's the authority, right? So it's acquisition.gov/PSC Manual. And when you go to that page, there will be a list of things. There's a PDF version of the PSC Manual. It's too big to email. And you're going to look for October 2020. That's the most recent date. Again, if you open that up, it'll be in a PDF, and you can hit Control F and do a word search, and that's about the easiest way to do it. You just put in a word search, see how many times it comes up, and just click through and quickly read what that is. Be careful. Sometimes it say does not include, and it'll still have that keyword in there, so you have to be a little bit careful. For the ones with the letters, you can find them that way as well. Q is medical. There's ways you can kind of figure that out as well. But the easiest, quickest way to do it is to do it with keywords. And again, very often they are going to be considerably more specific than a NAICS code would be. Okay.
So I remember we were talking when we were talking about SAM registration, and you touched on the subject that you can have PSC codes without NAICS in the SAM registration, but you can't have NAICS without PSC. Can you explain that and go deeper into that?
Yeah, actually, in your SAM registration, you can have NAICS codes and not have PSC codes. In fact, that's very frequent.
So I got it backwards.
Right. But But I did say something like that. So in SAM, you could totally skip putting in your PSC codes, and your SAM will still pass. It's just not advisable. Build a well-balanced and a accurate view of what your company does using both NAICS and PSC codes. Another thing about NAICS is and versus PSC codes. With NAICS, you will have to identify a primary NAICS. With PSC codes, you will not. So, another reason why I'm concerned that NAICS gets all the emphasis when, in reality, PSC's codes are every bit as important as a NAICS code.
solid information. With that being said, that is all the time we have today. Thank you for listening to today's podcast. In our next episode, we will be further discussing capability statements. It's a good one and you don't want to miss it. This podcast is sponsored by FedBiz'5, government contracting made simple. For more information, visit FedBiz'5.com. That's FEDBIZ access.com. Our phone number is 877-376-4249. The extension code is 407. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.